What is up, Internet world, and welcome back to Accelerate. My name is Mike, and the man behind the camera is Ian, and today we're bringing the 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQS AMG. So we thought we'd bring a little fun, a little zest, a little controversy to the channel today. So we've got the EQS AMG with 100% battery, and we invited its buddy or its competitor with 50% battery, the Tesla Model S Plaid. My Tesla Model S Plaid. This is sporty, this is luxury. Let's see how they do. All right, Benz time. I put it in Sport Plus. I get 751 horsepower and 752 pound-feet of torque when I'm in race mode for a few seconds. So let's see how this thing does with 97% battery against the Tesla. Foot to the ground. 3.53. Bang on to what I was expecting that everybody else has done. They've actually done 3.6. Okay, let's do that one more time. Got to give everybody a fair shot. Includes you, Tesla. So I got 96% battery now. Foot to the ground. Seatbelt tightens and go. Ooh, it's amazing. 3.66. I had a better 30 start at 1.62, but 3.66. So 3.5 is the number. Should we do a third time? Let's do it. Third time. 3.52. Yes, 3.52. Okay, money. That's where we're at. 3.52. Let's see what the Tesla does. So now I am in my Tesla Plaid. I have it in drag mode. It took 32 minutes to warm up to let me get into drag full-out race mode. I have 50% battery. I'm getting into cheetah stance, which means the car drops. And when I am ready, or when the vehicle's ready, it will let me know. It's preparing for launch. Cheetah stance complete. Ready to launch. Let's go. Whew. Oh my God, this thing's way wrong. Oh my God. 0 to 60, 2.58. Ay, 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 ay. Man, this thing. I'm on winter tires. Okay, come on, cheetah stance ready. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, better launch. Oh my God, this thing goes 2.47. Oh my God, this is just crazy. It's crazy. I wish you guys could experience this. 2.47. Like, you have to have perfect grip to get like 1.98. Perfect grip. You gotta be on a track, everything's gotta be ready. It's gotta be like the perfect. But on the street, this thing is usually low 2s. In the summertime, I can get it to almost like cupping the 2s, but never the 1s. Now, the EQS is sold in 4 different models with a starting price of $104,400 with the EQS 450 Plus. Then you have the EQS 450 at $107,400, the EQS 580 at $125,950, and finally this, the AMG EQS with a price of $147,550. Choking on it because it's so much dough. To the front of the Mercedes-Benz AMG EQS. Check out the light bar. That is probably the coolest part of this front end. From here all the way down. Not a huge fan of this chrome strip above it. I don't know what they were thinking there. But it looks very bubbly, very just weird to look at, I think. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, they have the Mercedes-Benz emblem right there. That's the traditional. This is the new modern, mixing old with new. This has heated little strips in it, so it keeps your radars all free of snow. You have your front camera right there, and again on the bottom you have more trim, but this time instead of being chrome like here, it is dark chrome down here. That's kind of odd why they use two different chrome pieces. It says AMG in case you forgot that you spent almost 200,000 Canadian dollars on. Now this EQS doesn't have a front trunk. They actually have this, which is where you put your washer fluid because there's no access to the trunk. That's odd. To the side of the AMG EQS. Now it has a 107.8 kilowatt hour battery. It makes 649 horsepower and about 700 pound-feet of torque. But for a few seconds, you get about 50 more horsepower and 50 more torque. And that is cool. It's for a few seconds though, just when you're in race start mode. But for everyday driving, you have rear wheel steering that turns about 9 degrees of angle. And you have this really long car with really weird proportions. Like, look at this front wheel, and as I saw, it's short overhang. Now these front wheels are 22-inch wheels with this nice center locking thingamajiggy. You obviously have air suspension. You can drop it and raise it as you wish, but it's long. And I do like that they have black trim. Look at all this black trim, really nice. But what I don't like is this EQS badge right here. That is rather annoying. And if you didn't know, this has two motors, one in the front and one in the back. It says 4MATIC Plus right there. Now in all the reviews I've watched and everybody I've talked to about the EQS, the non-AMG, the one thing they say is that this has really, really good range. This is the fancy key for the AMG. Now when you walk up to the car, these flush handles will become unflush. Here they are being flush. Did you guys hear that? Oh my God, is something living inside? What was that? The back of the Mercedes-Benz EQS AMG. Now doesn't this remind you a little bit like the CLS? It's very rounded, especially the front. It just drives me crazy. But the back here, I like that they've added this spoiler. This spoiler to me makes all the difference because it really cuts through that roundness with this spoiler. Now, take a look at these taillights. You've got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're backlit really nicely, very modern. And then you have this center light that goes all the way across to widen the vehicle. The back is the best part of this EQS AMG. Now moving down from the trunk, you have these guys. Those are bumper stops. So if you get hit from the back, you can just replace these guys and nothing to worry about. And they're only available in North America, not in Europe. And then lower down, you have these diffusers, 1, 2, and 3, and they're flared a different way. They don't all look the same, which is kind of nice because of course this is an AMG. Now when I do open up this rear tailgate, because this is a Sportback, I have this guy over there. Now look at it. It's like a picture of a bus. Now, what do the measurements look like in the back of the EQS? Now, as far as width goes, you have 39 inches, and as far as length goes, you have about 45, but it's the depth that I'm pretty impressed with. And also to get your stuff into the back, it has a pretty good height. It's not very high, and people will probably like that in some regard. You have 6.5 inches of depth, and then you have the storage compartment underneath here. When I lift up, you have some, obviously this is where you put your charging cable and stuff, but you do have some storage if you want to put other stuff. Now, everything else looks pretty good in here. You do have this little tonneau cover that you can pull back, attach. It's nice. I just find that all Sportbacks usually have like a flimsy cover, and this is no different. And if I want to close it, I can press this button, or if I have the key in my pocket, I can press the other button, and then it closes and you can walk away from the vehicle. So we have reviewed the EQS SUV. So if you want to go in depth with all this stuff we've done in that video, this one here is specifically showing the difference between the EQS regular and the EQS AMG. Now the big thing here is the piped in sound and all the sound this thing makes. It sounds like a total alien, and it just randomly pops off. This air suspension goes psh, psh, every now and then. Inside here in reverse it makes a noise. When you shut it off it makes a noise. It makes all kinds of noises. And you even have a button here on the actual AMG steering wheel that allows you to change the volume of sound. Ooh. Balanced, sport, and powerful. Ladies, powerful. This is a really unique offering because there's a lot of luxury pieces here. Take, for example, all the mix of materials. The dash has suede, a lot of red stitching in it. You have all these controls for these seats that move a million ways. But then you have this AMG factor in it where you have the seats being very sporty, This crested headrest, this AMG that used to have back in the E63 and the C63, so sick. Again, just a lot of cool mix of thought processes actually. Sport, luxury, and now electric. This wow factor on this 53-inch screen is crazy. You have 17.7 in the middle, 12.3 and 12.3 for the passenger. In here, I could swear to you that I would not know that I'm in a car. This feels exactly like the SUV. This dash, it's so high, it's so grand and wide. And again, ultra futuristic. Take, for example, this center console. It is Mercedes-Benz, but it's more electric because you have a ton of room underneath it, just like a minivan, which is what most electric vehicles are. Storage is key for them because they don't need a big bulky center console with a lot of cables in it. And then when you slide this back, this is Mercedes-Benz. You have a wireless charger, 2 USB-Cs. Of course, you have the fantastic cup holders that they do, which retract back to give you more space, and then more storage where you can put your fancy key. And then behind that, you have a full panel that gives you the AMG modes, your cameras, your modes for your car, your start and stop, which is so small, your four-ways, which are even smaller. So let's go over the key features of this AMG version in the EQS. Let's hit the home button first, and voila, you get this display. So first things first, let's go over charging. When I hit the charge button, I can select and see different charging programs and create different charging programs that work for me at home, but I'll also show you how much percentage I have right now. Next up is performance, where you have the AMG logo with the heartbeat. When I click it, you have 4 different displays. First up is energy flow, showing you how the drive motor is getting its power. Right now I'm at 64%, and it shows you all right there. It's pretty cool how it looks. The displays are really nice. Next up is drive. When I hit drive, it shows you something really unique. It shows you the drive motors and the temperature. It shows you if it's warm up or go or being warmed up, including the battery cells. This is really, really nice. But in this display, you actually have 2 other modes you can see. One is that it shows you the power amperage that's being sent to the motors. And then next up, you have your RPMs and your pound-feet of torque. Super cool. They don't have that in Tesla, and I love this. Next up is vehicle. It shows us your suspension along with your rebound rates, but it has an optional menu that I hit right here, and it shows you your tire pressure, the temperature of each tire, your G meter, your brake, and your accelerator. Really cool. Again, these are all fancy. I don't know how someone's going to use this while they're driving. It's probably more for the passenger or more of a party trick, but it's cool. It has these options, which I really like. Next up is engine, which is really weird because there's no engine in this, but it shows you engine torque, the power, your charge rate in horsepower and pound-feet of torque, along with the motor temperatures and all the other menus all on the bottom here. Really cool to have this, since this is probably where I would leave it. So here's something that's not on the electric scale or on the AMG part of things. This is all Mercedes on their luxury market, and that is by having massage seats. Look at the different types of massages it offers. Driver and passenger, you can choose whether you want intensive or not. You have classic massage, relaxing massage, mobility, activating, deep waves, and of course, deep workout. Pretty cool. Love it, Mercedes-Benz. Back seat of the AMG EQS. Whew, there's so much room in this back seat. This is crazy. Like, there's so much room. Like, you know, when you're in the airplane and you feel like the seats are uncomfortable and you need to sleep somewhere, you could just sleep on these seats. It is so roomy in here. And this seat is designed for me. I sat in the front seat before I got in the back. There's so much room. And behind me here, you have open pore wood, fancy suede that is nice and soft for your elbows. You also have the weirdest thing. 2 of them, actually. One is that this window only goes down without the one behind it. So it's kind of odd. You'd think that both windows go down. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's no heated seats in the back here. I don't know if they forgot about it or whatever, but there's no heated seats. This HVAC control panel right down here doesn't have it. It's got temperature, it's got fan speed, but no heated seats. Also, when I'm sitting here, the way these back seats contour downward is cool. It holds you in. It does have space to put your iPad or magazines on both the front passenger and driver seat. When I get up here now, I will show you that you have fancy soft cushions for both sides, but not in the middle, for my neck and the back of my... This thing does all kinds of spaceship sounds out of us all of a sudden. Whatever. It's nice and soft back here. I do have this when I pull this down. Again, nice soft leather. When I push it, the first thing that comes up is a pen holder when you're writing deals. And then when I push it again, it opens up to uncover 2 beautiful cup holders and has dark chrome rings around them. Now, when comparing both cars in terms of steering input, so when I turn the steering, how does the vehicle react, and how hard is it for me to turn? Well, the Tesla isn't great. That's one of my complaints about the Tesla, is that the steering is, when I turn left, it's just not as sharp as, say, a Taycan. Versus this is terrible, but this gets a hall pass because this is more luxurious, whereas the Tesla is not really that luxurious. This is like soft and nice and sporty, but just the stuff you'd expect out of a non-performance Mercedes. It has a ton of body roll, good brake feel. Like when I'm on the brake, it's good, better than the Tesla for sure. Acceleration in terms of snapping your head back, well, the Tesla is definitely more to the punch. But the thing that kind of bothers me the most is the sound. So thank God they have a button here that I can hit and get rid of it. It's cool, it is cool. It is definitely a party trick, but every day, thank God they have this button. Oh, shut it off. But I will tell you, the Tesla totally sucks when it comes to rattles. And this thing has 0 rattles because it is built by a good, legitimate, should I say company? Whew, baby. Okay, on the throttle. Ooh, baby. Ooh, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. I mean, all these cars, listen, this thing costs so much money. It better be good around the corners. But obviously, in comparison, I'd say the Tesla is a bit better in terms of cornering than this. Now, if you want to compare both vehicles, kind of hard to. They're going to attract different buyers. And then the cost difference is enough for me to go to Turkey, get my hair done about 5 times over, which means that how much more money should somebody spend over a Plaid to get this? I think somebody that's going to drive it in the city, sit on the highway for most of their life, and maybe have their charging station all aligned. Because the Tesla kills it in terms of infrastructure. I know that you can use some Tesla charging stations now to plug non-Tesla product. Cool. But somebody that lives by the dealership, Benz, wants that Benz experience, wants to have a Benz, the newest Benz. On the outside, in my opinion, they're both ugly. Model S can look good, for sure. I think the Plaid looks more, a little bit nicer, more minimal in black. And this thing just looks kind of weird. The back looks unique, but they're both kind of odd. I wouldn't say both of them are amazingly good looking. So really that's up to you in terms of style. In terms of drive, this is definitely softer, more luxurious, and I've been driving it in the most aggressive mode possible the whole time. When I put in comfort, I have the massage seats on, which you can't get on the Tesla. Then of course this totally kills the Teslas for long drives. But as far as like range, the Tesla is better. It's about 50 miles or so better. Again, infrastructure, way better. I mean, that's a huge factor of these things. The Tesla is just like this, over-the-air updates, but the Tesla, I find, is just more in tune with the everyday use of things better, if that makes sense. Like, the tech in the Tesla to use is just on point. This, you have to go through a million menus, try to figure out what you have to do to get it to work for you. The Tesla is more user-friendly, I find. This is like a full-out cockpit. You've got to get definitely training to figure this all out. The people in the car, though, I think will be happier, to be honest, in this than they will the Tesla. The driver, I think, should be happier in the Tesla than they would be in this. So it really depends on what you're after. They're so hard, but on paper, they look so close. That's kind of why I wanted to drive them both, to give you like sort of a head-to-head with each one of them. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.